Hello.
Hola.
¿Cómo están?
It's tequila night.
It's tequila night. How are you folks?
Da, 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 da. Tequila.
Welcome. Welcome. You may have noticed something has changed.
Something has changed within me. No, something's also changed without, I suppose.
I figured out how to switch the orientation of the video so that the labels aren't backwards.
You can read now.
Yeah, now you can actually read what see.
Yay!
Isn't that amazing?
It's amazing. We're by like week 18 of quarantine, we're really going to have this technology stuff down. Yeah. I'm telling you.
Yeah. And now you know that the night is on the right side of the room and not on the left. That's really important.
Oh, that's the big mystery. We've also gone spring fashion tropical tonight for tequila.
We're going yes, tropical.
We've
tropical
gone
fashion.
Shorts
because,
little fish. Kyle's gone all lime for tequila night.
I have a funny story about this shirt.
Yeah, you do. I bought that shirt for you.
Corey bought this shirt for me, and we thought it was a really unique shirt. And it was super fun. We went on a cruise, and how long? I think it was like a 4-night cruise, and
we're supposed to be on a cruise right now. By the way,
we're supposed to have gotten on a cruise today.
Anyway, COVID.
It's not running.
We were on a cruise.
We were on a cruise, and so I was planning on bringing out this shirt and thinking, I'm in thebomb.com. No one else has got this. It's really awesome. It's got limes on it. And what do you know? I bring it out the last night of the cruise, and we get seated next to a guy at dinner who has the exact same shirt.
It's no lie. That's what happened.
It's no lime.
Wow, the dad jokes.
You're welcome.
Getting real.
Well, Corey's normally the master of the dad jokes, so I gotta pop one in every once in a while.
Yeah, no. All right, so tonight.
Hello, Will. Hello, Laura. Ooh, we have more folks from the West Coast joining us. What time is it there? Well, it's 5 o'clock here, so it doesn't really matter. You can drink with us anyway.
6:30 here, 3:30 there. You can drink.
Layla from Maryland. Hello.
Woot.
Hello. I saw Emily from California is also watching us. We've got a good crowd already.
The whole country's represented.
Yeah. Woo.
All right, it is tequila night.
Tequila.
It's good for more than shots. Although we do have a collection of bar books that we occasionally consult for recipes, which people have given us over the years and we love. And I was flipping through them last night to be sure that all of the tequila recipes we were going to show you tonight agreed. And they actually had a recipe in one of them for a tequila shot. And I quote now, the recipe is 1.5 ounces of tequila in a shot glass. So we won't be featuring that tonight, but if you want to make one of those at home, there you go, the secret recipe. But we're starting with what, Kyle?
Oh, we're not starting with the tequila shot.
No, we're going to start with what?
We are going to start with the classic. Hello, Kurt from DC. Hello, Kristen from Alabama. We are making margaritas.
That's where we're starting tonight.
That's where we're starting.
Classic margarita.
Okay.
Hercules.
You want to get going?
Yes. All right, Kyle. Okay, you can, of course, serve margaritas several ways. We like to drink ours on the rocks. You can make them frozen. We decided not to drag our blender out tonight, but if you're into frozen, it's all the same thing, but just throw the ice in the blender with it and do it that way.
But Kyle, if you're into frozen, let it go.
And go for the rocks. God, the dad jokes are just rolling tonight, aren't they? All right.
Okay, so are we making it with Tequila Silver or Tequila Gold?
Yeah, so you can do it either way. I think we might go gold tonight.
I like mine with the Gold Tequila. It has a little more oomph.
You can go silver if you like. You can buy it in huge bottles from Costco. That's what we do.
Yep.
We also buy huge bottles of the gold. But
Hello.
we're going to go gold tonight. Just gives it a little added flavor, in my opinion.
Hello, Lenchen and Eileen from Iowa, and Kayleen from Texas, and Miss Catherine from right here in Washington, D.C. Welcome to the show.
So we are going to start with brown tequila. Now, I like mine without salt on the rim. Kyle likes a salted rim. So while I get started pouring, he can start grinding salt over there. This is really simple. They sell these fancy margarita salts. You don't really need them.
No,
the
just
easiest
get a
thing to
plate.
do, get a plate, get your salt grinder, grind some salt onto the plate, and then take a wedge of lime. We have them already cut and ready to go. Circle the rim with it to get it a little damp so it'll pick up the salt. Ta-da!
And then just roll it around on that salt.
And there you go. You have a beautiful salted rim. Super simple.
Voilà.
Don't need to buy anything fancy. All right. The traditional margarita is very simple. It's equal parts of only 3 things. First, tequila. I'm using the 2-ounce side of the jigger, the slightly bigger one, because why not? You don't really need to shake a margarita. I'm just making it in the shaker because it's easier. Margarita glasses are kind of big, so, you know, Kyle and I are going to split this, so I'm going to put in 3 of those. Then, you need something orange in a tequila. Triple Sec is the least expensive of the 3 kind of orange flavored liqueurs, and so that's what most people use in a tequila. If you see on a menu somewhere a Cadillac tequila, Cadillac, like you would believe, a little more expensive. They use Grand Marnier. You're welcome to use that if you're into it. There's also
Cointreau?
the other orange liqueur. But we're going to stick with the classic and just go with Triple Sec. Triple Sec is like $6 or $7 a bottle. So you know what? You can use it and not feel bad about it.
Hello, Kyle from Iowa and Jordan from DC. Welcome.
Woo woo. We put in 3 tequilas, so I'm putting in 3 Triple Secs. I might be making more margarita. We might be drinking these for the better part of the night tonight. Whatever.
That's fine.
So there we go. 3 parts tequila, 3 parts Triple Sec. Now you have another choice. Kyle, you've got the limes on your shirt. Why don't you talk about it?
So we have 2 types of lime juice here. This first one is just squeezed lime juice in a bottle. So it's just the fresh juice from the lime. You can also squeeze it yourself, but that takes some time. So that's going to be a little more tart. This one here is called Rose's Sweetened Lime Juice. This one is sweetened, right? It's a little syrupy, as you can see there. So if you like your margarita a little sweeter, use this one, or you can just use the regular lime juice.
So I've gone
Like
with
that.
3 of those, so we've got equal parts.
Not really going to have much room for ice in there, are you?
Well, I'm going to put the ice in our cups.
Oh, good. Okay.
So we've got equal parts of tequila, of lime juice. We don't like ours as sweet, so we use that, and Triple Sec. Going to just give this a little, well, I'll let you give it a little shake, and I'm going to put ice in these. I've moved our ice bucket off the table this evening for 2 reasons. 1, it gets a little loud over here, and 2, we have a fancy crushed ice machine, so in a margarita, if your fridge does crushed ice or whatever, maybe that's what you'd prefer.
Yep. This doesn't have quite the same ring to it. You hear that? No, you probably don't. Well, it's shaken.
Not stir.
Hello, Dee from Iowa is joining us. Welcome. And Mr. Michael from Virginia. Welcome, welcome. Nice of you to join us. Hope you're all either making along at home or you already have a cocktail in your hand.
And that you're wearing your spring fashions?
And
Okay,
that you're
here
wearing
we go.
your spring fashions.
Nice
everyone.
little crushed ice. Fill it up pretty full because you haven't shaken this on ice, so the liquids are warm, so you need a lot of ice in there. Plus, it's a lot of booze, so the ice will melt as you drink, and you will... Look at that. Perfect. Perfect for these 2 margarita glasses.
If you've seen us from the last couple of episodes, you may notice a theme, which is a lot of booze. Laura says, Kayleen in Texas is wondering why you don't put vodka in the margarita.
Well,
not every
traditional.
cocktail has vodka in it. So you squeeze
those
your
limes
lime.
in. Get ready.
That extra little oomph,
A little toast.
and say salud.
Salud.
That's how they say it in Spanish.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that's yummy.
That tastes like vacation. Since you can't go anywhere, make yourself one of those and sit with your eyes
Yummy.
closed.
Hello, Jason from New York. I hope you're doing well. It's crazy up there, we see, but hope you're hanging in there. Hope you've got a drink in your hand or
Woo, that's great.
a favorite beverage nearby. All right, what are we moving on to?
So we had a request from a viewer to do sours. They actually requested, it was Nancy in Indiana, requested whiskey sour, but we're on a tequila night. And the great thing about sour is that the recipe for sours never change. Only the liquor does. So I'm going to let Kyle get started because I forgot to get the lemon juice out. So I will be right back while you get started.
Yes. Okay, so here's how we're going to do a sour tonight. You may have seen this in your local watering hole. We're going to make it in this rocks glass, kind of like we made some other beverages recently. And I'm going to start by filling it with ice.
Beautiful. We're just sticking with crushed ice tonight. It's a fun theme. Now, here's the interesting thing about a sour. All you have to add to a sour is lemon juice. It's always the same. And simple syrup. Simple syrup is just equal parts sugar and water boiled to dissolve. I made some earlier. And here's a little fun fact. In the 50s and 60s, it was very popular for some reason in sours not to use simple syrup, but instead to use a teaspoon of powdered sugar. So if you don't want to make yourself simple syrup and you have a bag of powdered sugar sitting around, just throw a teaspoon of that in lieu of the simple syrup. So
we have Amber from Texas and Mary from Iowa joining us, and Rachel. Hello, Rachel.
We once again start with tequila. Kyle's got it. 2 ounces of tequila.
2 ounces. Remember, the larger part of your jigger is 2 ounces. Right there. All right.
Then we get 1.5 ounces of lemon juice, not lime, so a little different from the tequila. We're going through all the citrus juices tonight. Just you wait.
Well, what's lovely about tequila is it holds up to all of them. So, okay, 1.5 ounces. So I'm using the 2 ounce side, just not filling it quite all the way. There we go.
I have pre-measured 3/4 ounce of simple syrup in our little beaker with, well, you can't really see, but it's got measuring things on the side like a science beaker.
Yeah, those are really fun. You can get those online.
They make measuring way easy, especially if you're making in large quantities like we often do. This one goes up to 4 ounces if you fill it all the way, but it's marked all the way up. So it's also marked in like tablespoons and milliliters. So if you're European and fancy and you want to measure in milliliters, there you go.
So here's a fun way to do a sour. So if you don't have something fizzy in it, but you want to give it a little lift, take the drink you just made and pour it into your shaker, and then give it a quick shake with the ice and everything. It'll help cool it down, and it will help give it a little
sparkly,
a little more joy. And then instead of using the strainer part of the shaker, you actually take the whole lid off and pour it all back in the glass. Like
now
that.
It's perfectly mixed and looking dandy.
It's perfectly mixed. It's got a little air in it to give it that extra.
Garnish it with a lemon, a lime, whatever you're feeling, but this is a traditional sour. So you can make it with whiskey, you can make it with rum, vodka, really anything you want. Tonight is tequila night. Let me see how you did. Yes, it's perfect.
Excellent. I'm going to taste that thing too.
You gotta love a good sour. Now, last drink of the night. We're gonna go Tequila Sunrise. What'd you think?
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah?
Okay, you going to make the sunrise?
I will. So we're going with a slightly slender, taller glass this evening because a Tequila Sunrise is a really pretty drink to serve. So if you're looking for something really nice looking, that is orange juice and tequila for the most part. It's a really pretty looking drink. I'm going to step away and get us a little ice.
Yeah. So this is going to be a nice cocktail to have with breakfast if you like orange juice. Well, kind of like he's laughing, kind of like a Bloody Mary.
Yeah.
Right?
It's fine. Yeah, sure. Have it with breakfast. Have it by the poolside with an umbrella. Let me see if we have an umbrella. We might have.
I think we actually might have an umbrella.
Oh, yeah. We're going to get really fancy tonight.
Okay. We're getting fancy tonight, folks.
We have a whole bar drawer of accoutrement.
Here's what we do. And, to be honest, you can find these little things at Pier 1 or Cost Plus or Walmart, on the clearance bin after summer. Did it just?
Oh no, I got it. Here we go. Okay. There we go.
Okay, so here we go.
Right.
Okay, where's my? I'm gonna do the silver tequila on this one. Okay. There you
Just,
go.
I mean,
you look
you know.
fabulous, darling.
Thank you. All right, so we're starting with 2.5 ounces of Silver Tequila.
That's 2 and...
Yeah.
There's
Ish.
a half.
There we go.
Um,
Then the real recipe calls for 4 ounces of orange juice. We're not going to put in quite that much because
not
A,
gonna
we
fit.
have a small glass, and B, who wants to dilute their tequila that badly? So we're just going to eyeball it.
okay, there we go. Can I use this? Are we done with this?
Yeah.
This is, I'm going to show you a little secret here. The last thing we're going to do is take the Grenadine. That's this sort of cherry...
You can buy it from the same brand as the sweet and
The same
lime
brand
juice.
as that sweet and lime juice called Roses, and it's got a rose on it.
Yeah.
And I like to use the back of a spoon and then pour the Grenadine ever so gingerly
In there,
in it. And
you see why they call it a Tequila Sunrise, because the Grenadine has gone down to the bottom because the way Kyle poured it over that spoon and is now down there sitting beautifully. And it looks like sunrise. So pop a lime on the side if you want. Stick an umbrella in if you have one. If you don't, it's okay. And look at that. Doesn't that just say tropics? Woo woo. Once again, I'm going to need to try it to believe it.
how's that?
Tastes like breakfast.
No?
I love it.
It's kind of like a screwdriver, but with tequila.
Yeah, it's really nice. And the Grenadine gives it a little something different, a little cherry magic.
Well, yeah. I mean, eventually you could mix that in if you wanted to taste it. At the
You could
beginning.
stir it up and turn it into a pink cocktail.
That's lovely, huh? Yeah, then it looks a little more peach
A
colored.
little more like sunset than sunrise, but
Yeah.
that's fine. Reminds me of Fiddler on the Roof.
Gorgeous.
Anyway, perfect. Love it. So that's the night. We have margaritas. We have tequila sours. Let's see. Can we just line them up here with a little beautifulness?
There we
You got
go.
your margarita. It's okay also if you don't have margarita glasses. They take up so much room in the cupboard. We happen to have 6 of them. When we have more than 6 people for Mexican for dinner, we just serve them in a regular glass like this. It's totally fine.
Totally fine. Tastes the same.
You got your sour and you have your sunrise.
Yeah. Well,
So there you
beautiful.
go.
Yeah.
You got a winery you want to talk about tonight?
Yeah, hey, tonight we're going to hop over we're not going to hop over the river. We've been doing that. We're going to stay on this side of the Potomac and talk about a winery called Linganore Cellars? Linganore Vineyards?
Cellars, I believe.
Well, Linganore. That's spelled Linganore. They're in Maryland, and they have very good wine. They've been in business since the 1970s, and they are now in their 3rd generation of family winemakers.
Yeah.
And I forget the woman's name, but she is about our age. She's a young winemaker and forging ahead with her family's business and making some really nice aged Maryland wines. So once again, they're closed for business because of what's going on in the world right now. But they are having some shipping specials. So $9.99 shipping on any amount of wine, and they'll ship it to you within legal limits. And they have a good variety of wine. We were actually invited up there a couple of years ago, probably now.
We were.
It's true. But they were migrating from more of the sweet palate to more of the classic European palate. But they still have a good variety of everything. So check them out.
Yeah. And last thing, if you made a cocktail tonight, one of these, post a picture of it in the comments. We would love to see it.
Yeah.
If you have requests for other cocktails or liquors or anything for next week, this is our last one for tonight because we have to go do construction tomorrow. But we'll feature it and we would love to see it. And if you're wearing some spring fashion you want to show off to the rest of the world since no one else is going to get to see it, then put it in the comments too.
Yeah. And if you want to share this video for your friends to see it, please do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
Hashtag libation lessons.
At DC
and
Wine and
at
Dine.
DC Wine and Dine on all of the major social networks.
Big news. We used to be the DC Wine guys till we got a cease and desist order from some guy. I think I'm not allowed to say it.
No,
Well, anyway.
Not allowed to say that.
Beep.
We're gonna have to bleep that out.
But the good news is we're now DC Wine and Dine.
DC Wine and Dine is the name.
So there you go. Thank you all.
Click
Happy
on my
Thursday.
like. Love you.
XOXO.
Bye, everyone.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Raise a glass
Salud.
to you. Salud.
Salud. Da, 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 da.
Adios.
Ba, 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 ba. Tequila.
Ah. Ciao.